Welcome to the Real Crime Diary, Daily Dose of Crime. I'm your host, MHB. Today, we're delving into the complex and controversial case of Freddy Eugene Owens, a death row inmate from South Carolina convicted of the 1997 murder of Irene Graves. This case not only highlights the brutal nature of the crime, but also raises significant questions about the death penalty in the United States. Let's dive in. In 1997, Irene Graves, a clerk at a Speedway convenience store in Greenville, South Carolina, was shot in the head during a Halloween night robbery. Freddy Eugene Owens was convicted of her murder, along with armed robbery and criminal conspiracy. According to court documents, Owens and another individual attempted to rob the store, and when Graves couldn't open the safe, Owens shot her. Despite Owens maintaining that he was at home at the time, surveillance footage and the testimony of his co-defendant, Stephen Andra Golden, led to his conviction in 1999. However, Owens's story doesn't end with that conviction. While awaiting trial, he killed his cellmate, Christopher B. Lee, in a vicious attack. Owens later admitted the murder in a detailed confession to South Carolina Law Enforcement Division investigators, claiming he did it because he felt wrongly convicted of Graves's murder. Throughout the years, Owens's attorneys have persistently filed appeals seeking to reduce his sentence to life in prison. All efforts were denied, with the last appeal rejected in September 2006. Owens has been sentenced to death 3 separate times through various appeals processes. Fast forward to today, Owens is set to be the first person executed by the state of South Carolina since 2011. His execution has been scheduled for September 20th, marking a significant moment after a decade-long hiatus in the state's capital punishment history. This pause was primarily due to the unavailability of lethal injection drugs, as pharmaceutical companies refused to sell them for execution purposes. To counter this, the state legislature passed laws allowing the secrecy of lethal injection drug suppliers, and in July, the state Supreme Court paved the way for executions to resume. Owens now faces a choice of execution methods: lethal injection, electrocution, or a firing squad. This choice, however, is not an easy one. Advocates like Jace Woodrum of the ACLU argue that the death penalty is costly, arbitrary, and discriminatory, and call for clemency for Owens. The case of Freddy Eugene Owens is not just about a man's impending execution. It is a window into the broader debate on the death penalty in the United States. Owens, along with other death row inmates, has pushed for a minimum interval of 13 weeks between executions, arguing that scheduling them too close together risks errors that could lead to cruel and unusual punishment. The South Carolina Supreme Court has taken up this request, although Owens's execution date stands as scheduled. Legal experts and critics highlight the secrecy surrounding lethal injection drugs and the potential for botched executions. Attorney John Bloom points out the grave concerns regarding the transparency and quality of the lethal injection drugs, questioning if they can ensure a painless death. These concerns are valid, especially when looking at other states like Oklahoma, which experienced significant problems when trying to accelerate its execution pace. Moreover, this case exemplifies the ongoing struggles within the U.S. legal system to balance justice with humane treatment. Owens's mental health issues, highlighted by his violent actions and detailed confessions, add another layer of complexity. Should mental health play a more significant role in deciding death penalty cases? This is a question that continues to divide public opinion. The implications of Owens's case reach far beyond the walls of South Carolina's death chamber. It prompts us to re-examine our justice system, the ethical dimensions of capital punishment, and whether the death penalty serves as a true deterrent to crime or merely a retributive measure. As Owens's execution date looms, the conversation around the death penalty remains as pertinent as ever. We urge our listeners to stay informed and engaged in these critical discussions, understanding that at the heart of these cases are real human lives and the foundational principles of justice and humanity. Thank you for tuning in to the Real Crime Diary Daily Dose of Crime. I'm MHB, and we'll be back tomorrow with more deep dives into the most intriguing criminal cases. Stay safe and stay informed.